And good morning, coffee and coaching. I'm so excited. It was random, impromptu. That's kind of how I am sometimes. And we're going to be doing more meetings just like this in between our structured masterclass settings so that you all can get to know each other. We can network. We can continue to be the solution. I really believe that what we need is in the room, right? Sometimes we show up, we don't know why we showed up, but we're here. And I think it's important for us to share who we are, what we do. And that way, if someone has a need, what your number one need may be, you guys can kind of share what you're looking for right now in your business, and someone here may be able to help you. But let's do this so it's not too long, because that could go long. If you know somebody that can help that individual, type it in the chat, right? So, hi, my name is Coleen Otero, founder of CEO Chicks. And right now I'm looking for amazing influencers that can help my clients' brands. I work with other brands, not just realtors, which I love. We're in the CEO Chicks and real estate space right now. So that's a lot of what you've seen over the last 24 hours. But I also help clients with marketing, right? And branding. And sometimes we need a fresh face. Sometimes we need those micro influencers and those influencers. So if you know anybody, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'm looking for fresh faces and new and amazing, just talent, family oriented, as well as, we could get a little spicy online sometimes. I have skincare brands that I work with, fashion brands that I work with. So sometimes we're looking for a little sexy. Sometimes we're looking for a little HGTV, so just send them my way, y'all. Send them my way. All right, go ahead, Joanna. That's an example.
Okay, got it. Good morning, everyone. I'm Joanna Colbert. I am in the Tampa, Florida market. I am a real estate agent with Allure Realty, also a cast member on Selling Tampa. And, primarily it's all about real estate for me in the market, and really sort of any brand partnerships that could work. I'm definitely doing more of that, and just good relationships and just seeing how we could build upon that.
Yes. And the brand partnerships that you're looking for, is it real estate related, babe, or you want just...
No, it doesn't have to be real estate related. It could be skincare. It could be hair. I don't know how much hair.
I'm glad to know this. I have, so now let me just point out for those of you that didn't catch what just happened. My need was literally, she's like, could feel that right there. Just with what she's looking for is what I'm looking for. Did y'all see how that just happened? And I have a client we're working on some stuff in Mexico. I'll send it to you. I think she's on this call actually as well. Okay, awesome. Patricia, those on camera get to go first because you were bold enough to show up, crusting your eye with your coffee cup and your fruit hunty. Yes, okay. Patricia.
Hi, so my name is Patricia. I'm so excited about doing this. I got the text message and I'm sitting here, I'm journaling, and I'm like, ooh, I don't look good. I'm in my pajamas, not even literally a white t-shirt. That's what I slept in last night. But it says change on it. See, I'm even changing at night, renewing at night. So I love Coleen. I love what she does. I work with Veronica Figueroa. I'm her talent ambassador. So I'm a recruiter, and we're always looking for amazing people to join our organization, and especially the Figueroa team, which is the #1 team at EXP. So yeah, that's what I do. I'm also a mom, a grandmother.
Yes.
And I'm here to learn from you ladies. I'm watching you guys and I'm like, I don't know. I want that energy. I want everything that you ladies offer, because it's really special.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sylvia.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, I am Sylvia. I am a very new member to CEO Chicks, but I have known Miss Coleen for quite some years through Miss Heather Grooms. So I guess my primary passion is working with animals. Mm-hmm. So I need for my animal business, I am a pet sitter, I'm a dog walker. So I really need more help finding other dog walkers to help walk dogs, essentially.
Oh, okay, awesome. What area are you in? Because that's very location specific.
So right now I am in two very different areas, Orlando and Tampa.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Pizza Gay, my Caribbean sister.
Oh, geez. Good morning. How are you? As you said, quickly getting dressed to get out of here. I am the CEO of Quintessential Lifestyle, which is a salon and a boutique. And basically, I style women. I encourage them. I give them the glow up, as so to speak. So that's what I do, from hair to fashion and all of that.
I love it. All right, I'm gonna go down the list. Heather, you want to hop in? If you can't unmute yourself, you could also type it in the chat who you are and what you do if you're unable to unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone. This is Heather. How are you? Sorry, my picture's not showing because I'm moving around. But I just wanted to quickly tell you I am a realtor. I'm with the Landlord Finders, and I love Miss Coleen. She's amazing. Y'all have a great day.
Oh, you are amazing. You are amazing. All right, who we have next? Unmute yourself. We got Nadra. Hey, Nadra. Let's see if she can hear. All right, maybe she can't unmute. Nubia.
Hey ladies, how are you guys? Good morning. My name is Nubia. I am the CEO of Black and Travel, also known as Black in Tulum. I host events for people of color in Tulum, Mexico. And I am in the process of rebranding with CEO Chicks. So what I'm looking for is actually trying to build a global team, other businesses that want to collaborate and partner and do things to grow the brand that I'm expanding for persons of color to be able to travel the globe and find services, find businesses that they can, collaborate with and support and all of those things. So that's where I'm at this moment.
Yes, collaboration.
That is the name of the game.
CEO Chicks is going to be right there. Like, we're going through the branding process right now for Black and Travel. We're even playing with it a bit with incorporating her name as opposed to just Black and Travel, because she's a brand as well. So we're in the ideation phase, but Black in Tulum, you guys check it out. Her story is amazing. She moved and ended up, after traveling around the world, she decided to move and reside in Mexico, and her story is tremendous.
All right, I appreciate that.
Nadra said she's having a hard time unmuting, but this is Nadra, CEO of Evolving Textures. She is also an amazing brand, featured in Whole Foods. We've been working together for some time now. Hopefully you'll get to a place where you can unmute. Nubia put Black in Tulum inside the chat so you guys can kind of get an idea for who is on. All right, next, Tahara from my team is on. Tahara, introduce yourself.
Good morning, happy Wednesday. Listen, my technology is giving me a run for my money today, but hey, you know what? It's Wednesday. We are going to kill it and crush it. I am the business development rep for the CEO Chicks. I'm also the founder of the Hope House, which is a youth empowerment academy. And I'm just so excited. I have been kind of stalking Coleen for so many years. And I said, hey, let me be a part of this movement, because I just believe in everything that this network is about. I have seen it with my own eyes, and I'm just so excited for every single lady, and just blessings only up from here. Right, Coleen? Only up from here.
Yes. Thank you. I'm going in order to Shay. I was looking at my lips. To Shay, I'm coming to see you. I feel like I need a little bit more Botox. It's just not as pouty as I wanted.
Oh, my word. Good morning, everybody.
Wait, or is it fillers? I don't even know what she be putting.
It's fillers. It's fillers in your lips, Botox in your everywhere else.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I just left the dentist, so my mouth is numb, so I'm hoping I can pronunciate what I'm trying to say. But so my name is Tasha Griffin. I have a wellness center. It's called Tasha Medical and Aesthetics. We do everything from weight loss to aesthetics, as Colleen just mentioned. So we do weight loss, IV infusions, body sculpting, pre and post-op plastic surgery care, Botox fillers. I just recently got trained for Sculptra, which is a filler that we can inject in face, hands, Botox to get rid of cellulite, to plump up your butt, to fill in face if you have sunken cheeks and eyes on your eyes, and just exciting new things to come. I'm looking forward to grow my aesthetics line of business, and because there's not too many of us ethnic people out there that are business owners in that line of field. So that's my passion at this time.
Awesome. Thank you for jumping in. And you sound great. You did a great job. All right. Next up, we have, hold on, it's moving because I'm letting somebody in. Chantel. Chantel? Okay. Does it let you mute Chantel? If not, drop it in the chat. She goes by Sassy Accountant as well.
Good morning, guys. My earpiece. How you guys doing this morning? I am Chantel with the firm. We are an accounting firm where we do bookkeeping, payroll, taxes, audits, business credit, and setup. And we have 10 locations, including in Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and Arizona. And I'm so proud to be a CEO chick. I love this community, guys. And yesterday was amazing.
Yes, we're gonna talk about everyone on here, your upcoming event. Like, we're gonna get into it. But thank you so much, and you did a great job on panel.
Thank you.
All right, Sade.
I think can you guys hear me? I did a Publix run, and then now I'm like, oh, a lot of, good morning, everybody. Yeah, so I'm Sade Harrell. I'm also known as Sade the Strategist. I own a purpose coaching firm where I provide services to individuals, professionals, and entrepreneurs who's looking to thrive by finding their voice, executing their vision, and increasing their value. I am also the founder of Assist Her Inc. It is a 501c3 where we exist to empower single mothers with physical, mental, and emotional tools to gain access for well-being and growth. I love being a servant leader by passion, a supermom by assignment, but by trade, I am licensed in both real estate and I'm also an insurance broker. So I'm excited to be a part of CEO Chicks.
We're excited to have you. We go to the same church. We like the same things. We're just like sisters for real, for real.
Yeah.
So we always are laughing about that. Vanessa just put in the chat, she's doing a training class, but she's Vanessa, owner of I Uniquely Design. Did I say it right? Is my fashion passion. I'm currently revamping my nonprofit, Bell Angel Academy, which provides life skills for the youth. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's Vanessa. Vanessa has been with me from like day one. Let's see, we also have, did I miss anyone? Tiffany, you introduce yourself. If I missed you, raise your hand.
Well, hello.
Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tiffany's from
Okay.
as well.
Hey guys, I didn't know I was gonna introduce myself.
I know. You guys know how I am.
But I'm Tiffany. First off, I just love seeing all of you amazing women on this morning. This is so fun. But I do content creation for CEO Chicks. I work closely with Coleen to make everyone's vision come to life online. Whether that's social media or websites, we'll both collab on that, but I'll kind of help spearhead some ideas there. But I love that you guys are on this morning. Super excited to hear what you guys have going on and what your businesses are up to. And I just love that you guys are all CEO chicks. This is amazing.
Yes, we are because of them, right? Like, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you ladies. If I don't think I forgot anybody, I'm gonna have virtual glue.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me?
I
I'm on
can.
headphones. Hello, ladies. It is a pleasure to be here with you all this morning. My name is Sheila Murray. I'm the owner of the Virtual Glue, and I work with CEO Chick Network and very closely with Colleen to make sure that you all, the back end of CEO Chicks is running. You know, Colleen is always from here to there. So I'm always the home base at the computer, making sure that she has what she needs, that you all have what you need, and that things are running as efficiently and smoothly as possible so she can keep creating amazing, wonderful ideas and build this brand out to what God has ordained. So I'm really excited to be a part of this team and to be a support system for her.
Awesome. Thank you, ma'am.
Of
Isha.
course.
Isha, and then I'll just dive into, I want to talk about events. I feel like she keeps getting kicked out for some reason. I keep seeing Isha trying to get in, but she can type in the chat. Oh, there she is. Isha, can you speak? You're unmuted, Isha. In the meantime, Shayla, can you grab or Tiffany, the link to Atlanta for all the ladies so they can recommend anyone to come to the event with Tahira and I tomorrow night here at the W? All right. All right, I'm gonna come out of here. I'm gonna open the chat and then I'm just gonna flow and you guys can let me know if you have any questions. Some of you are very aware that, you know, events, well, maybe you're not. So let me not take it for granted. Events are a very important part of just, I believe, being able to really be the hands and feet of your business or to really set up what we call experiential marketing is the term that they're coining it now, right? Experiential marketing. When you now walk into a space, they are able to provide different things. Now there's Instagrammable walls everywhere. How many of you guys are seeing that when you go places now? The coffee shops, there are different experiences when you go to coffee shops. There are different experiences when you go to buy shoes. I mean, it's like, Louis Vuitton, when you go inside Louis Vuitton, you feel like you're going into a whole different world. How many of you guys can relate to that? You step in there, you like, I'm in Morocco, honey. Where's the champagne? Like, you know, it's just like, it's not the same, you know? So experiential marketing is just like so important to our overall business. And I want to talk to you ladies today about having, you can mute when you come in, introduce yourself in the chat if you just got in. But yeah, you want to figure out how can you incorporate that into your business, into your brand, right? And again, I have a book. I didn't have it with me. It's called Brand to Bucks. I believe you guys should get it. Those of you that were at the meeting yesterday for our first CEO Chicks in Real Estate, I taught out of my book because it's principle based and it took me years to write. And there are so many amazing tools and just information in there that will really help you when it comes to establishing your brand, right? And my definition for branding, for those of you taking notes, is it's the spirit or the essence of a personal organization, right? Branding is more of what's felt and not seen. And so a lot of times when I'm working with women, when it comes to their overall brand, we get to the core of who they are or to the core of who the organization is, right? Because it could be two different things, but both have DNA, right? Whether you're the brand and you're the product, it has a DNA. So on one side, as a coach, people are doing business and purchasing because they like me or they like another coach. On my page, when you come to Coleen Otero, you're gonna see that I have my own website, that my focus is branding, my focus is family, my focus is just inspiration as a whole. When you go to CEO Chicks, you're gonna see that the DNA over there is kind of really more focused on women as a whole, right? There are times I'm like, okay, Tiffany, I don't want to see my face on the page, not one more time this week, right? And sometimes we go back and forth and she's like, but they really like you. right? And so I'm like, okay, that's fine, but there needs to be this beautiful song and dance. There needs to be some harmony between the stories and the impact that we're making. There needs to be, you know, the overall feel of the events and how women are responding. And so those things have to be felt, and it has to be a very marked difference when you go to my page and when you go to CEO Chicks. And that has really taken time for me to just really sit down, get clear, and just kind of pour that out, right? And I know as visionaries, we can have so many ideas that they all start to look the same, right? They all start to come together like this. And you're like, oh my God, what is the freaking difference? Okay, I feel like I'm doing double work. I get an idea, I need a page for it. I get another idea, I need a page. No, sis, let me help you. Let me help you get off that wheel. Because I say this all the time, the enemy of your idea is another idea, honey. Like, how many ideas we going with? Wait a second, right? What is the main thing, right? Now, that's just branding. That's just branding 101 right there. Today, I want to talk to you about events. My leader said so true. Nadja said LOL and preach. I love you, Nadja. So when it comes to events, that is really key. And I want us all to kind of, during this next 15 minutes, think about how we can create an event and an experience for our customer and potential customer. During the pandemic, 2020, initially, because we were both technology and touch, right? So meaning what makes our organization successful are the experiences that we create in addition to our online platform and being able to have something that's convenient. Those two things are extremely important for CEO Chicks, right? And they're extremely important for you. Technology and touch are extremely important. And so one of the things I want you to think about is how you can incorporate that into your business, into your brand. What does an activation look like for you, right? And as you're thinking, I want you to drop it in the chat. I don't care what comes up. This is what ideation is for. This is what these calls are for. This is when you can get feedback, right? From someone that doesn't even know you. Like, would you attend something like that? You know, one of the biggest things with real estate, and we see it on the shows all the time, is we have to get people to what? Experience this home. We have to get people to experience this property. When we watch, they have these amazing views, and I'm sitting back like, dang, I want the house. You know what I mean? Like, we're looking at these amazing bathrooms and marble going up the wall and all of the amazing amenities that this community may have, right? So we're selling those things, but how are we selling it? We're really simply sharing what's so amazing or what the benefits and advantages are, and being able to allow people to see themselves in that space. What does it look like for people to do business with you? What experience do you create for them, right? I believe on our last call, Peter you showed us your space and that you began to create appointments where people came into the space and they had this VIP service at your boutique, right? So that was something unique that for your customers. They don't have to wait in a line. They're going to get one-on-one service. They can really come in, look at what you have, make sure it's sized appropriately. What is that service like? And how can we just continue to do that for more people at an event? What would that look like, right? So what are some ways that understanding your brand DNA, what are some of the activations or events? When I say activations and events, you can kind of use them interchangeably, because at the end of the day, what no longer really works is just to set up shop and think people will come, right? It's like, how can we get them to engage on social media when they're here? I did a consultation for a vitamin shop the other day. Amazing dude. He's a pastor of a mega church, and he has a vitamin shop at one of the malls. And I began to look at it. It's a franchise. And I'm like, okay. So in our conversation, I told him, I said, you're the way, the vibe that you have in there for the audience that you want, it's not going to work. And I'm sure it's not working, and you're not seeing the retention. I can already tell, because first of all, you want a diverse demographic, but the imagery on the walls don't speak that. It's very cold inside. And so I sent him examples of what what does it look like? What's popping right now? What are some of the things people will take a selfie in front of, right? What are some of the things that people will be attracted to? And so I want to break down to you all, as you're typing in the chat, I have my eyes on it. What are some things that you feel you could do for your brand and business to create an experience? Let's take it down to something simple like the Costco store. First of all, I watch TV for commercials. I know you all don't, but I do, because I'm in marketing and branding, right? And I'm really in love with the different ways, like what makes us buy what we buy. I'm obsessed with it. What makes us want to live in certain neighborhoods and drive certain cars? And I made a comment yesterday while I was teaching. I said, you'll be surprised how a lot of your ideas aren't your own. Whew, man, I'm telling you. We will be surprised that a lot of ideas are not our own, right? We are inundated with data all day long. And so typically when I'm going to create with a client, there's a time where we need to really pull back and kind of fast, right? And fast from the noise and fast from all the visuals, which can be difficult for someone, right? But it's that detox period is very important, because I really want to try to get to the core of what drives you, right? Sometimes we'll see something that's working and we'll just say, oh, that's working for that company, I want to implement it, without knowing why it works. When we get to the core of why something works, now we can apply the principle versus the practice. I'm gonna say that one more time. When we get to the core of why something works, we can get to the principle of it versus the practice. And this is an example I used years ago. For example, let's say we see a brand that's blowing up all over the place, and we see them marketing. Let's say fashion, right? Let's use a fashion brand. They're marketing on social media. They're marketing on billboards. They're marketing all over the place for something that they ship worldwide. And so let's say you're a company, you're a mom and pop shop, and you see that company doing that, but yet your systems right now that you have don't give you the capability to ship worldwide. But you invest in marketing worldwide because that's what that brand's doing, right? Now, you did what they did. You duplicated that practice, but you didn't really understand why they did it. I'm pretty sure it was because they were at a place where their manufacturers would be able to fulfill those orders. They were at a place where they had a system in place. Their Shopify. Can you mute your line, please? Thank you so much. I pray that you get well and that you're not sick and it's just a little dry, you know. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like we got to begin to really think about why people do what they do. And if we can get an answer, or if we can kind of dig to the core of it, and extract the principle versus just duplicating the practice, then we can see, okay, all right, they did that because of X, Y, and Z. I did it and it didn't work for me because I did not prepare, or I did not have these systems in place, or, you know, you get the drift. When it comes to activations, when it comes to events, when it comes to learning about your business and brand, I think it's super important that we create moments that people can experience us, right? So there are some key things. Anytime I'm going to do an event, I sit down, I shut in, and the number one question I ask myself is why? Why do I want to have this event? Right? Why? It's the basics of for those of you in school that do story writing, or you know had to do. I was in communications naturally, and we used to any storytelling. You got to break down, you know, a who, what, when, where, and why, right, and how. And so that's how I approach pretty much every idea that I have, and it helps me to really vet whether or not this idea is for now, it's for someone else, it's never gonna happen. You know what I mean? If we chase every idea, what happens is we lack the ability to really be a master of something, right? And we're a master of chasing all these ideas, but we got to figure out what our main thing is and how we can then let that kind of bleed over into other things. And there are times that you can, once you get your brand and your model, your business model up and running as serial entrepreneurs, you are great at delegating and putting a CEO in place, and then you can move on to the next idea and duplicate what? That principle, duplicate what? That system, and create practices from that for that new business idea, right? So number one is, why am I doing this event? What is the overall goal? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to see happen at my event? The last event that we did overall, and I use my notes, guys. My phone is everything. So I start to brain dump in my notes underneath why. So it'll say the event. I might not even have a name for the event yet, right? And it'll just say why. So event, and I put why. And then underneath the why, I will just kind of, again, figure out, what do I want to see happen? What's the overall goal? What's the outcome? What's the experience I want to create? You know, why am I doing this? The next thing I go into is the who. Okay, based on why I want to do this event, who needs to be present? Who needs to be involved? Who are the women that, or men, right, in any of your cases, that should be a part? Who are the speakers? What do they look like? What do they do? What will they contribute to the room? Right? What are their costs? What would that put me, as far as my budget goes? Who are they? Who are the people that will help me with the event? So last week, we're getting closer to my last event that I was having yesterday. I put out word for volunteers, and we had Ariel, a CEO chick, that reached out. I had a long time friend I haven't seen in years that has a amazing radio station, WOKB, awarded. They've won several Stella Awards. She reached out and was like, what do you need? She showed up. She was like, I got to get reconnected. I'm getting ready to go FM. And I'm like, man, I'm so proud of you. Just like that, another connection. She came out to the event and she served, right? Then the third person, our intern, she came and she served, right? So who are the people that need to be involved? The next thing is what? What the heck you gonna do when they get there? Right? We got the why, we got the who. What are you gonna do? It drives me crazy. And for those of you that are more structured, I'm sure that you can relate. And for those of you that are more free spirited, you need people that are more structured that can kind of help you, right? With events, especially for me, there needs to be a structure, but at the same time, I need to be willing to flow, right? I have to be willing to read the room and make sure I'm building connections and people are able to really, feel what I'm saying or what may be happening or whatever the case may be. So what do you want to see happen at the event, right? Then of course, basics, when's the event? That is important, because a date, I'm like, I need research. I'll tell the team, is there anything happening around that time? Can you search Ticketmaster? Can you search online? Is there anything that may make people not want to attend? Is it a time where, graduation season? Is it, spring break? What are the things that could conflict with your event date? When does matter? Then of course, where's the location? Where are we going to have it? Walk the space, right? And one of the things I love to do is, prior to the event, I will go to the space and of course get content, get visuals, things that I can use to kind of let people know, hey, we have something coming up. You want to be a part of it, right? So the where matters, the location. When I walk into a space, everything matters. What does it look like? What emotions are evoked when you walk into the space? Is it bright? Is it airy? Is it dark? Are there any windows? Like, all of those things matter. Where will photos happen? Where can I create a place where people are going to be drawn to take photos? What's on that? Will there be branded material? Because brand placement does matter. Is that opportunity for partnership there? Absolutely. And sponsorship? Absolutely. So all of those things play a role when it comes to where your event is going to be. Where am I going? I'm thinking about a client. Her name is Najina, right? And she just launched her book. We just launched her book a couple weeks ago on Amazon, and then we did the hard copy. And so we're getting ready for her first live activation. And we're meeting with an event planner, and these are the very same things. She's not a CEO chick, right? She's somebody that followed me and followed CEO chicks, followed me, saw what I did, didn't want to be a CEO chick, but wanted to hire me, right? So CEO chick is a lower hanging fruit, meaning it's something more accessible, lower cost for people that may not be able to afford to hire me, right? When people come in to hire me, they're paying thousands of dollars for me to not just help them with what we're talking about right now, but to execute it, right? So it takes more time, it takes more manpower. But I brought her up to say, I don't know if y'all can hear it. There's a dog. My girlfriend's dog is straight up snoring right now. He's a bulldog. Yeah. But anyway, um, randomness. So when we're working on her activation, and one of the things I want to see happen, because it's her ministry, she's launching her ministry. And one of the things I want to see happen is when people come into the property, I wanted a space where we could tell her story. So is there a way to get like mural, black and white, sharing your story? She was a Muslim. She converted to Christianity. She wants to share that. How can we share that? What does that look like? She was in prison behind a bad relationship. She did things for this dude, ended up in jail. That's where she was converted to Christianity. And so how can we share that story? What would it look like for somebody to walk in her shoes, right? So how can we create that? So what does it look like stepping in? And then when they turn the corner, what does it look like after, right? How do we create this experience for people? These are things that we can really sit back and think about and begin to create activations that will blow people's minds, okay? And then, so that was on location. That was me just talking about location. And then, of course, locate the how, right? The overall how deals with the implementation of it. It deals with just the overall thought. Even when, let me go back to where. When you step into a space, even like, I'm identifying, there's a snoring dog behind me. Smells, he doesn't smell, but smells, sounds. I remember one of my events, I got the biggest venue, and I didn't realize that they didn't have my playlist, and the music sucked the whole time. It killed the vibe. It was the one I had Jay Bolin at, and it like killed the vibe. They played some soft reggae music when he came out. I was like, that's my relaxation by the pool. Black girl get a tan. What is happening? And I couldn't do anything about it because I was coming up after him, right? Then the event planner I had, I didn't realize that so let's say the seating, we got 3 rows of seating. Typically, I like my guests to sit like in the front. So what she did was she designated this entire side, and as people were coming out, she was seating them that way. She saved me a seat in the front. My keynote, Jay Bolin, sat all the way in the back, and he went out just before I did. I was like, damn it. Why the hell is he not sitting with me? So it's those details. Over the years, I've just really learned to do my best to be as clear as I possibly can about what I want to see happening, what's going up live. I will send notes to my team. I'll say, we're going live. I want you to share 15 minutes of every segment, right? This is what I want to see happen. I've gotten, and even you can be as clear. Let me tell you, over communication is so important, but at the end of the day, it ain't always going to go that way, which is why I said, be structured, but you gotta be at a certain point, you gotta show up. At that point, I gotta be the vibe now. So I gotta be the one to bring the noise and bring the room up, right? So all of those things matter. So now let's open the lines, and it is 10:15. Let's open up the lines. I want to hear what your ideas are, what you're thinking, any questions you have for me in regards to events, but I want you to consider that, the who, what, when, where, why, how. I start with why first, and I end with how, which gets into more details, right? And it's like that's the booklet, and that you really can expand on that, right? Tashay put creating my green flower wall, providing a nice warm spa feel and backdrop for events, give a concierge care from check-in to services being rendered monthly, events by giving short snippets of services and packages to showcase what we provide for clients. Absolutely love it. Sade said, yep, wrong music can kill a vibe. You ain't kidding. My first nonprofit event, okay, I believe she's saying that happened. You can unmute your lines. I want to know just your thoughts, any aha moments, confirmation, anything like that. and we'll move on with our day.
I had something. So I was trying to kind of use the principles that you were stating, the who, what, when's, and where. So as I was in that planning stage of having my inaugural event for my nonprofit for Assist Her, and this was for all mothers, not specific to the mothers that I target, which are single moms like me, super moms. But location was everything. First, I started with the who, obviously all mothers. It's the weekend of Mother's Day. But then I also thought about where, you know, there is an African Museum on the International Drive. I know that it's also part of a nonprofit community as well. So I thought, because it gives a different vibe, different energy, it's not a traditional restaurant. It had an African hybrid, which I loved. And then I thought about the who's as far as the individuals that will speak. So I used women that had stories. And because this event was specifically topic as Mother May I, really cultivating and changing how we communicate as mothers to not only your mother, your sisters, but also other mothers, and how we are with our children. So it was so important. Energy is important. Music, the tone, everything. So I just I use those same principles, but I like the extra level that you added when it comes to the event part of it's your brand is a feeling. So because this nonprofit is in a grassroots stage, I'm trying to identify this specialty group, which is only for single mothers, but also create a village, create a community to give them access for their well-being and for their growth. I want to give single mothers double. So having a panel of women telling their stories, and it was a success, although music wasn't like I wanted it to be, especially on different sections and parts, it gives a different tone. But my takeaway from that was I learned now how to give instructions in advance and identify the right partners to make your vision come in fruition. So good takeaways from that. Thank you, Coleen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody else want to chime in or have a question or comment or anything of that nature? Takeaways, ideas, anything come to mind? We shy today or we just busy?
Hey, this is Sylvia. Turn my camera back on. I'm driving. So everything that you said, Ms. Coleen, was definitely awesome. Especially since we like to put on events for different reasons, dream board parties, and definitely highlighting your specific business. It just gave me so many different aspects to look at for the future, and definitely create that experience, because I know when I go to certain places and I feel a certain way, I'm out. So definitely gave me a lot to think about, and a lot for the future that I'm super excited for sure. So thank you for that.
All right, awesome, awesome. You know, even for when it comes to pets, there's so many cool things that you can do, especially at these pet parks, and that's a great place to pick up business and so on and so forth. So yeah, just keep putting yourself out there.
Oh, yes.
Anyone else? Any aha moments? Any feedback? Any ideas? Any questions you want to ask me? Like what comes to mind? Did you think of any activations you could do?
Hey, ladies. So I apologize. I lost some of the call because I had another call come in. But given what you were talking about, the who, what, when, where, I think it's super important to remember the why, right? Why are you doing this? I think I get lost, not me personally, I get lost in seeing other entrepreneurs focus solely on making money, and they're not passionate about what they're doing. And if you're not passionate about what you do, it doesn't come across in your brand or in your business, which is why I'm in the process of rebranding. My brand went skyrocketed, and it was everybody else's passion, but I lost the passion for it as much. And I wanted to get that passion back so I can give back to my business in 110% like I did in the beginning. So it's just really focusing on Sorry, the birds are having a whole
Them
conversation.
Mexican birds are singing, honey.
Girl, they loud. So just remembering the why is so important. Make sure that you're doing the things that you love to do, because it will exude in your product and your services and what you provide to your customers. Because if you're not loving what you do, it's just gonna show. So that's just my aha kind of thing, you know, because I was just moving on autopilot. It was doing great, making money, but if I'm on autopilot, then I'm not happy.
Yeah, that's such a good observation. And I know in our conversations alone, we've been talking about that more and more. And I'm like, what about this? And you'll sit with it and you're like, no, I like the other idea you had. And that's what it takes time sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's not something that branding, when you begin to really understand, I said this yesterday, it's either your mission or mistake. Branding is either your mission or your mistake. So sometimes when we have an idea that takes off before we really gave it a lot of thought or time, it was a need, it was a demand, it was something that people wanted at the time. But when it starts to kind of like slow down or become something that we don't like anymore, yeah, we have to pivot. We have to figure out, either I want to, you know, sell this to someone that's gonna keep that feel going and I'm gonna pivot to something different, or I'm going to take this and begin to, you know, kind of make some changes, right? Be intentional. And that also is a slow turn. I think about Kia, man. I told you I'm obsessed with commercials. And I think about Kia and I think about, you know, how they first started. It was just sort of like this affordable, you know, cute little car, and just how they've sort of like evolved to this like cool electronic, you know, like I'm like, dang, it didn't happen overnight, but over a period of time it did. So, and here's the other thing, as entrepreneurs, I feel we need to know is that your business isn't always forever. Like businesses sometimes come to fill a void for a certain period of time. I think about Peloton, you know, during the pandemic, there's a reason that. So imagine if every gym saw what happened with Peloton and said, we need a bike. Bally's, we need a bike like Peloton. Let's think about some other fitness companies, whatever. We all need something like Peloton. We need it because that they're doing good. So let's do it. Right on that wheel, right on that train, and then bam, it stops, it crashes when the world turns back around and opens back up, because that demand is no longer there, you know?
I'm glad you brought that up, Coleen, because I don't think people really pay attention to trends. You know, right now Tulum is a trend, and I know that, and I was able to build my brand around that trend, but I know that there's going to be ebbs and flows. And right now I'm in the ebb season. You understand what I'm saying? So it's time for me, what Tiffany said was pivot, not panic, right? It's like, okay, now that I'm in this slower season, what should I do to pivot to get back on track and flow the way that makes sense? So that's a great observation, is that people need to pay attention to trends.
Correct.
You know,
in
you don't
their
have to use COVID.
Yeah, in your own business. Like there are times that it's hot, there are times that it's not. What are some other things that we can do? What are some other things we can create for the lows, right? The other thing too is understanding that when you have a low, then you'll realize, okay, that's normal, right? What can I do to combat the lows? A few years ago, we realized summertime was the hardest for us. But if we did certain events in the summer, it helped to combat that low. So is there a strategy that can be created, you know, to really combat those lows that we may be facing? Is there something in marketing that we just need to tune into? What makes the people, and I'll use us, for example, the people that joined during the summer, can we poll them and find out what was it that made you join and kind of turn it up and crank it up there? So, you know, those are the questions we have to ask ourselves as entrepreneurs with our business. What are the highs? What are the lows? What can we do to make the low not as low, right?
Or even, I will challenge that. I think that every business should incorporate a low. What I'm planning on doing is doing my things in quarters, you know, so Q4 of every year, that's my downtime or nap time. You get what I mean? Like, that's the time I want to focus on sitting back, thinking, realigning myself, really focusing on family, friends, and the things that I need to do for my personal, right? Yeah. And then Q1 get started for and get ready for gearing up for Q2 and 3, which are my busiest months, right? So it's like really paying attention to the quarters, your quarterly statements. When do you make the most money? That's going to be your busiest season. I'm going to be booked busy, head down, getting what I got to get done. These months I'm not as busy, so I'm going to focus on marketing, branding, getting stuff out there, automate, right? And then take one quarter or 1 month that's just yours, you know? And I think as entrepreneurs and as business owners, we don't take enough time to focus on us, like ourselves.
All right, so I like this conversation. So I'm gonna challenge that back, because I think that you can still look at your lows and challenge yourself to see what you can do, you know, to combat lows and still take a month off and still take time off. That is when your leadership lid is challenged, right? As an entrepreneur, can you take time away from your business and it still operate? You know, and I think that
with the proper fail safes in place and the proper team. But as entrepreneurs, we know finding the team is the challenge, right?
There's a whole bunch of classes on it. Trust me, it will always be the issue. It's finding the right team.
Exactly.
It really does. Self-care, hands down. You know, I don't really think looking at your peaks and valleys and what you can do to improve them should be equate to not taking, you know, time for yourself as the leader or visionary, you know what I mean? So yeah.
But I think a lot of us do that though.
Oh yeah.
So focused on, I wake up talking business. I go to sleep with business on my mind. Yes. There's times when I need to just.
Yes. Yeah.
No phone, no computer, no response.
Yeah. And what if we incorporate that, you know, in our day? You know, what if we begin to not just wait for a month off, but we begin to incorporate it in the overall practice of who we are and what we're doing? And one of the things I'm working on right now is figuring out the best way, the most affordable way that entrepreneurs can scale by hiring VAs. Like Shayla, that's on here. We're literally, before we hopped on here, we talked about, okay, we need to present some affordable VA services to the members of the network so that administrative things, those light tasks, we talked about this, you know, that, but not, this is the key piece that I think is going to be, look, I hired Shayla. I told Shayla, get on this call, right? I hired Shayla. I don't even know if she was able to stay on, but I hired Shayla. She's at a very high price point. And I reached out to her and said, this is not sustainable for my business. So I want to present something to you. So I presented a change pretty much to her model. I said, if you brought on more affordable VAs to your staff, but you could still run point on certain things, what if you provided that as a service? What does that look like? That means you're not the person that's also doing the communication and task. Right? That's not scalable. You have to be the person that is overseeing the VAs that work for me. So now we're already testing, and I'm going to be a part of her beta testing, because I'm like, at the rate I'm paying you, I should have 5 Filipino bills. You know, she laughs about it, but I'm like, it's for real.
It's the truth. I believe in an EA, executive assistant, a PA, personal assistant, and a VA, virtual assistant. You know, Coleen, I said, those are my top 3. I need somebody who's going to manage my life. I need somebody who's going to manage my back end. And I need somebody who's going to pick up the other little, you know, administrative tasks. Like, I believe in VAs.
Yeah. So I just love these conversations. Thank you so much. And I love it. Like, I'm all for it. Like, we all got to figure out what our sweet spot is. And kind of go from there. We'll chat. Well, we even challenge the sweet spot, because that's what visionaries do. They're like, I'm too comfortable. Something's wrong. All right. I think let's call it a day. I need to get ready for this model casting that I have tonight, and my son's flying in and all that good stuff. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed Coffee and Coaching. We'll do it on our off weeks. You'll get a text message like you did this morning. But thank you so much for being on. Thank you. Make sure
you ladies.
Make sure you continue to share what we're doing at CEO Chicks. Post us in your stories. Let people know they can join. I'm working on an affiliate program as well, where members can get paid when they sign up their friends and all of those good things. Just continuing to expand the brand. Can you add the link? Did you guys add the link when I requested it earlier? Because most people are gone. So there's the link for those of you that are still on. that you can grab if you know anyone in Atlanta. All right. Thank you all for being on. Have a good one.